Hello everybody and welcome to What Culture Gaming. I'm Ben from What Culture Gaming. This is Peter from What Culture Gaming.
Hi.
We're at EGX 2017. We've just played Ni No Kuni 2 and we wanted to record our thoughts about how we found it. A very pretty game, Peter.
I thought it was really attractive, very visually appealing. Interestingly, actually, and we're getting straight into some features here. Whoa, while you were playing, it just changed art style halfway through, didn't it?
So largely when you're just in the town areas and stuff, it's beautiful art.
Yeah.
But and in the battles as well.
Yeah.
But then when you go into the open world, very similar. If I can sort of compare it to Final Fantasy VII,
I was gonna say
when you go
Final
into the
Fantasy.
world map, you go into sort of weird chibi mode.
Yeah, big
like,
heads.
Big heads, little bodies, sort of. That's fine, but it does feel like a great deal of the art style is then lost, which is a bit weird.
Yeah, I definitely got Final Fantasy vibes from it, even down to sort of the way the vehicles were built and stuff. Like, I don't know which section you played, but I was up on a cliff edge and there were these like flying sort of plane things that seemed like kind of half alive,
It's a
but
bit
half
steampunk, isn't it?
Yeah,
A little bit.
yeah. They had like sort of animal-y bits to them, but they were just meant to be inanimate vehicles, and it was just all very kind of, oh, that's quite cute and quaint.
What did you think of the combat?
Oh, I thought the combat was okay. At first, I thought I was a bit confused, but you know, we picked up a game essentially halfway through because it's just a little demo segment.
That's the problem that these games have. Sorry to cut you off very quickly, but because they want people to just jump in and play them.
Yeah.
There's a very real issue that they don't have time to hold your hand, and you're there just desperately squinting at the instructions that are in front of you, like, oh god, I don't know how to dodge, I don't know how to use my magic. So there was a lot of just pressing the default hack and slash attacks.
Yes, but we did work out fairly soon that if you hold down R2, it brings up the face buttons in the corner, and you can then choose to press any of those, and that gives you, some close range attacks, some long range attacks, power attacks or speedy ones, and different things for different situations.
Oh yeah, we played two different instances of it because you could choose different versions on the main menu. You just fought a boss or something, right?
Yeah, they appear to be, I thought, the narrative, from what little we glean from it, it seems to be quite sweet in that they're all sort of like, yeah, adventure, let's beat one of the trials. Like, it wasn't like the world is ending.
It's a bit
like,
Pokemon, isn't
it?
it?
Yeah. And so the thing I was playing was it was like a trial of strength or a trial of wisdom or something. Courage it was. Yeah, it was courage. And I was just fighting a big monster boss in an arena, and it was fun. I had a good time.
I, on the other hand, started in a hub town area, struggled, to be honest, to make my way out of the hub town area before going to go on a rescue mission. And then when I got into the open world and it went a bit chibi, the monsters appeared physically in the world and you had to run into them to start the battle, at which point it switches to, a third person, almost, I don't want to say Dark Souls, but that style of things where it's third person, you lock on, you
do some dodging.
You do some dodging, you do some attacks and that sort of stuff. And it was fine, but I think a lot of the fatigue I have with games of that ilk is that you do a lot of that in the open world, and after 4 or 5 of those encounters against the same enemies, I was sort of thinking, well, kind of ready to see, what else this game has to offer now.
Yeah, that's a bit... So are you saying that you'd be walking around in chibi mode and then it would almost cut to full sort of anime art? Yeah, right.
Yeah, you'd see the chibi monsters and they'd have an exclamation mark above their head, then you'd walk, just bump into them, and then you'd start the encounter.
A little bit like Pokemon.
A little bit.
Through the grass.
But except you actually see the monsters.
You see them. That can halt the progress sometimes of these games. Like if you're trying to just get from A to B, and they put these things in so you've got something to do on your journey. But what if one day you're like, I just want to get there. I don't need them to give me extra gameplay on my way. I just want to get there. So I don't know, we'll see how much they ram it in, because maybe they just put a bit extra in for the demo.
It's entirely possible. I know there's a huge amount of fans for Ni No Kuni 1. Which was gorgeous and genuinely very, very lovely. So fingers crossed this is more of the same. I think it's out later this year, or it might have been pushed back to next year. Who knows? It's on screen now, either way. So make sure you keep tuned in to What Culture Gaming. I'm Ben from What Culture Gaming.
I'm Peter from What Culture Gaming.
And thank you for watching.